It's just one person's failed program after another, after another, after another, going around in circles. In the meanwhile, the world is laughing at him. They say, where is your God? Where's God at? Where's your God? Where's the... But listen, if the power is there, they can mock all they want, but they know there's something to it.
Amen.
You may not be the most eloquent fella, and Samson wasn't, but he didn't have to be with power. He didn't have to be if he had the power of God. But there he was, marching around in circles, serving the world's purpose. But I like this, verse number 22, howbeit the hair of his head began to grow again after he was shaven. There he was, marching around in circles. They were laughing at him. They were jeering. They were mocking. But, you know, the Lord, there's a providence of God in here. You can't go wrong with the Lord. I mean, you just can't. I mean, the Lord, you're going to come out on top every single time. I mean, Abraham, you're just going to come out on top every single time. Abraham was God's man, sojourned in Egypt. Last time I was up here, I talked about him. He was scared for his life. Made a decision in the flesh to protect his own self. And the king took Abraham's wife. But the Lord protected her. The Lord protected him. And when he left out of Egypt, he had more than when he started. That doesn't fit in with Baptist theology. Here I am, went down to Egypt and messed up, and I come out with more than I went down there with. You can't preach that exactly. Because we want to say, if you go down to Egypt and mess up, you're going to be kicked out in rags. It doesn't exactly preach very well when you say go down there and you get messed up and you come out with more sheep and cattle and more blessings and sent on your way by the king. That doesn't make good Baptist preaching. They won't have you at the youth camps if you preach that. But here he is. I was reading this last night, and you'd have thought the Philistines finally discovered his secret was his hair, but they put his eyes out. You'd have thought they'd had somebody to keep his head shaved the whole time. But they forgot about that. They put his eyes out. And Samson was upset, but that's where his problem began, was with his eyes. He'd look at every place else except God. And all of a sudden he didn't have eyes. And he's marching in circles. And the only thing he could do was look inward and talk to God. And he marched in circles there. And as he marched in circles, there's nothing else to distract his attention. There's nothing else to occupy, just him and God marching around that circle, grinding that mill. And the Bible said his hair began to grow. He'd sit up there and he'd listen to him, jeer him. He'd listen to the little children gather around there and mock him and mock his God. And it'd stir his heart and just march around there, just him and God. He couldn't see the world anymore. He couldn't see anything else anymore. But it's just him and the Lord around there. Finally, one day they said, hey, bring that man out again. And nobody said, hey, somebody shave his head before you bring him out. But his power, listen, his power wasn't in his hair. That was a token. That was an external token of an internal truth. His power was in the God in his heart. And that hair was just a token. But there he was, marching around there, just him and the Lord. Just him and the Lord. And finally one day they called him out. And what did Samson pray, his last petition? One more time. Let me feel your spirit one more time. Here I am, I'm in the house of Dagon. They've brought me here. Look, the Lord's going to come out on top. The Lord brought Samson all the way down to where all the Philistines were. All the lords of the Philistines. All the great men. Those men that he couldn't have reached out there in the fields. Those men that he couldn't have reached, he brought him right into the house of Dagon, that big feast they were having. They were triumphant over Samson. The Lord brought him right into the middle of that. And Samson asked that little boy that led him in there, while everybody mocked, while everybody jeered, while everybody made sport of it. He said, sonny boy, if you would let me feel, put my hands on these pillars just so I can lean on them. That little boy grabbed his hand and put it on one, grabbed his hand and put it on another. And then Samson began to pray. And he said, would you please one more time, let me feel your spirit. One more time, would you let me feel it again. One more time, Lord, that I might be avenged of my eyes. And the Lord said, one more time. and the Spirit of God came upon him, and he pulled with all his strength, and he killed more in his death. He wrought a greater victory in his death than he ever had in his life. Thank the Lord. I don't know about you, but every time when Dave says or somebody says preach or it's my lot, that's my prayer. One more time, let me feel your Spirit. It might be my last time tonight. Today it might be my last occasion. But don't let me just get up there and ramble. One more time, let me feel your Spirit. One more time, let me enjoy that power. You know, there's no substitute for that. There's no substitute for that. If you've ever felt or ever been around the power of God or been near it, been around, there's no substitute for that. Amen. The most miserable preachers in the world are those that get up and don't have power. They know the power and don't have it. It's just different. If I feel the power of God, I don't care what the reaction of the audience is. Man, I feel on fire. I feel happy. And then there have been times when people have come up and said, boy, that was good, I enjoyed that. And I want to say, shut up and sit down. Get out of here. Oh, I got a blessing out of that. Yeah, but I didn't. But I'm the one that preached it. You be quiet and sit down. You don't know anything. You don't know. If I knew God wasn't with me, you certainly know. You certainly ought to know it. But my Lord, one more time, he said, one more time. Let me feel your power. And the Lord said, yes, sir. You know, he might have prayed, give me 10 more times. There's a whole lot more Philistines. Give me some more time. But one more time, whatever the end result of this is, one more time. Let me feel your Spirit. Let me feel your power. Let me have you one more time. Let's get together one more time. Maybe tonight, Lord, one more time. Let's have your power. No, nothing else will suffice. There's no delivering anything else. There's no deliverance in anything else. Now you can have all the programs in the world, but the power of God's the only thing that makes a difference. Zach was preaching last night, and those two sons of Eli, the Philistines had gathered around them. They'd gone out against the Philistines. And those two boys, Hophni and Phinehas, they had gone out, and the children of Israel were defeated. God wasn't with them. They had taken the things of God for granted. They had despised the sacrifices of the Lord. And they had gone out as at other times to fight the enemy. And the Lord said, go on, but I'm not with you. They went out and they were defeated. And what did those two priests do? They said, if we bring the Ark of the Covenant. If we bring the Ark of the Covenant. And so they went back and they fetched the Ark of the Covenant. And they brought it out. And the whole children of Israel shouted. They shouted, oh, and the Philistines heard it. They said, what's that shout? How in the world can they shout after a great loss? And somebody said, well, they've got the Ark of the Covenant there. God is with them now. They had supposed that their God was in that box. And that was just his footstool. That was just his dwelling place on the earth. It wasn't in that box. That was a symbol. But that wasn't where he abode. That was a symbol. And they went out. They said, we've got the ark. And the Philistines there, I don't know who it was, what general it was, but he got up and said, quit you like men. He said, we might be going to our death, but we're going to go on anyway. We're going to fight them anyway. And they went out there, and the Lord said, you can take the box, but I'm not with you. And they went out, and they not only lost, but they lost the Ark of the Covenant. Yeah. And they went out, and all they had were the symbols. All they went out and thought they would defeat the enemy. They thought they would deliver themselves from the enemy, and all they had were the symbols, and they didn't have the power. They had the same old thing. Hey, listen, the Ark of the Covenant, the presence of God, God had gone with them before, and God had delivered, but all they had left were the symbols. Samson tried that. Samson tried all he had, but you need the power. You need the presence of God. You can have good songs. You can have the King James Bible. You can have all the best things in the world, but if you don't have the power, you don't have anything. There's no deliverance in it. But Samson said, I know the power. I know the Spirit of God. I know what it's like when He comes on me. And he said, Lord, one more time. One more time, let me feel your power. One more time, let me feel your Spirit. And the Lord heard his prayer. And Samson, you know, that's not the end. The good thing about this is Judges chapter 16 isn't the end. Hebrews chapter 11 is the end of Samson. Hebrews chapter 11, the Lord said he's in the roll call of faith. He's one of the heroes of faith. Thank the Lord for that.